What's your assessment of the will of the Taiwanese people to fight China at this moment? Opinion is divided. A large section seems to favor some notion of being away from China. The Ukrainian people have fought heroically against the Russian army. If you were to compare in an international context, what's your assessment of the will of the Taiwanese state to fight back against China?
Never underestimate the determination of citizens of democracies fighting for their own freedom. Before the Second World War started in the United Kingdom, the Oxford Union had a debate, and the team won the argument that this house does not believe in fighting for king and country. When war started, everyone in the debating team that won joined the war effort. I think that is the sort of things that we have to expect that people in Taiwan will do. When their homeland and their way of life and everything they treasure, not in terms of the material bit, but in terms of the democracy and way of life, they will stand their ground and fight. That is something which I think the Chinese government need to.
I want to come now to the last part of this interview, which is to do with the economics. Your book is on military strategy, politics, and economics. We've discussed the first two. I now want to focus on the economics. Given how dark it is inside mainland China to accurately pick up macroeconomic trends from China, how much is the downturn in the economy putting pressure on President Xi Jinping to be aggressive militarily on the question of Taiwan? Because earlier the Chinese state promised economic growth to the people of mainland China. To what extent has that promise now taken a hit?
Well, China's economy is slowing down quite significantly, and a lot of that has to do with the dynamic zero-COVID policy. And the Chinese economy is also suffering from the fallout from the Russian invasion of Ukraine, like other major economies. I mean, Taiwan is not the reason why China's economy is slowing down or in trouble. Will Xi Jinping invade Taiwan because the economy is slowing down? No, I don't think so. Reason number one, the Chinese economy is not doing well, but it is not facing a catastrophe. There is no need for Xi Jinping to cause that kind of a diversion, which would simply make the economic challenges even greater. And the second one is that Taiwan is primarily a political issue for China, and the decision for invading Taiwan or not will be a political one rather than an economic-based one.
What's your reading of whether the real estate crisis and the debt crisis in China, of which so much is said and written, could actually blow up into something much bigger? You can already hear the simmering discontent around the pile-up around the debt crisis and around the real estate bubble. Could it blow up in Xi Jinping's face, and what kind of a timeline could that involve?
Well, the economic bubble in China probably will burst at some stage. Nobody knows when it's going to burst. But given that Xi Jinping is determined to stay as leader of China for the next 10, 20, perhaps even longer years, the chances that it is going to blow up while Xi Jinping is in charge in China.
Do you think that there's any threat at all, or any circumstance in which there could be a threat to Xi Jinping's continuance as president? Do you think that's really a given that he's taken some action against all his key political opponents?
Well, Xi Jinping is politically very astute. He has taken consistently very wide range of actions against his political opponents within the party, and it is opponents within his party who are much more serious threats to him than anybody dissidents outside of the Communist Party establishment. So at the moment, all the signs are that Xi Jinping is very firmly in control, in spite of the kind of problems that we can see China is facing right now.